What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. When you think of the greatest roller coaster designer of all time, a few people might come to your mind. The first being LaMarcus Ada Thompson, the inventor of the modern roller coaster when he invented the Switchback Railway at Coney Island back in the 1880s. Others might think of John A. Miller, the inventor of the upstop wheel which let coasters experience negative G's without flying off the tracks, and the designer of many prestigious roller coasters for their time. Another good example would be Alan Schilke, a definite runner-up in my personal opinion, the inventor of the 4D roller coaster, the RMC single rail roller coaster, as well as the Iron Horse conversion, the thing that RMC is the most famous for. Alan Schilke is known for many different things, and a very innovative person in the industry that has possibly done more for the industry in his few creations than anyone else. But, in my personal opinion, I think there is someone even better in the industry that has made much more of an impact. If you keep track of roller coaster designers, you probably know where I'm going for this. Obviously, it's Werner Stangle. Werner Stangle is honestly the most insane coaster designer of all time. You might think, oh, he designed a few roller coasters. Well, that would be an absolute understatement. He's designed well over 500. You might think, oh yeah, he designed Maverick at Cedar Point, but he designed a lot more. He's designed Maverick, Son of Beast, the Wildcat models, the Jetstar models, Batman and Robin the Chiller, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, Jetliner at Gronalund, Dominator at King's Dominion, Revolution at Magic Mountain, and way more. Today, we are going to get into the absolutely amazing innovations of Werner Stangle, the man who has notably caused a ripple in the industry that could never be outdone. This is Cedar Flags, and today I'm going to go through the insane portfolio of Werner Stangle, also known as the Guru of Roller Coasters. Werner Stangle was born on August 22, 1936 in Germany, and quickly developed a love for roller coasters. He became a roller coaster designer and engineer and the founder of Stangle Engineering, and teamed up with many manufacturers across the planet throughout his career. So in this video, I want to talk about his amazing innovative life and his amazing accomplishments with several major manufacturers. I'm going to sort this by manufacturer, but first, I want to get to his crazy accomplishments. First, he has designed well over 500 roller coasters. He has worked with over 10 major manufacturers. He has been active since 1964. 1964, for comparison, was also the same year the Beatles came out with I Wanna Hold Your Hand, and the year that Blue Streak at Cedar Point came out. Seems like such a long time ago, but Werner Stangle has been working on coasters since then. Crazy stuff. He has designed a third of the 2021 Steel Top 50 coasters at Amusement Today, and he has designed the world's tallest roller coaster 4 times. In one instance, with Goliath and Millennium Force, he beat his own record. I think if we're going to talk about his major accomplishments in life, let's go to his roots, working with Anton Schwarzkopf. Now, a common misconception with Anton Schwarzkopf is that he was the designer of roller coasters, but instead he was the builder. He teamed up with Werner Stangle in the 1960s to come up with a new company, Schwarzkopf. This company would innovate the steel roller coaster throughout the industry and come out with many innovations. Werner Stangle would work with Schwarzkopf for a few decades and would make notable rides including Mindbender at Galaxyland, the original Shuttle Loop models, Shockwave at Over Texas, the Jetstar models, and possibly most notably, Olympia looping at the traveling fairs in Europe. In his time working with Anton, I would say that his biggest innovation was the design of Revolution at Magic Mountain. This was the first modern coaster to feature a vertical loop, and at the time had a circular shape which was praised by many enthusiasts. In fact, I would say that most Schwarzkopfs were designed by Werner Stangle himself. It honestly blows my mind about his portfolio just at Schwarzkopf. If he only worked at Schwarzkopf, he would still be as innovative as he is today. But no, he had to go above and beyond and work with even more A company I didn't know he worked with until the research of this video was Premier Rides. Now, he hasn't designed a roller coaster from Premier Rides since 2005, but at the same time, he got them on their feet. He teamed up with them in the mid-90s and helped them design the first ever magnetically launched coaster in Flight of Fear at Kings Island. He made the Spaghetti Bowl model and provided a model for many parks all across the world to share. He also was responsible for the design of Batman and Robin the Chiller and Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. In his later years with Premier, he would go on and design Backlot Stunt Coaster, a nice Premier family coaster that came up to the Paramount parks. Look at all of the roller coasters that use magnetic launches today, via a different system but the same idea, using magnets to propel cars to their top speed. Well, Werner Stangle was responsible for the original concept of this. Really shocking when you think about it. He quit his ties with Premier Rides after moving on to greater and better things, but at the same time his impact on the company will never be forgotten. Another company I didn't know that he worked with was gerslauer. In fact, he had a very important role in the creation of gerslauer. He teamed up with them before designing their first roller coaster, Dizente Sao, in 1998. This was a bobsled coaster that he came up with and really put this company on the map. He was also the main designer of Wild Svinet, the world's first Eurofighter, and he was also responsible for many other Eurofighters after that creation, including SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge, Untamed, Rage, and many, many more. To cap it all off, he was also the designer of De Schwar des Karnen, what might possibly be gerslauer's most beloved coaster. This roller coaster has some of the best theming in the world, but the ride elements are not to be forgotten. This ride has some pretty insane forces according to its riders, and is all thanks to the mastermind himself. Now we get to the big boys of the coaster industry. The first one I want to talk about is bulgur and mabillard, the Swiss manufacturer that came out in the early 90s with Iron Wolf at Six Flags Great America. You want to take a guess who designed that? None other than Werner Stangle. He came up with this design throughout Shockwave at Drayton Manor in the Intamin stand-up models, and took it over to B&M. Now, he was B&M's main designer throughout the 90s and early 2000s, and designed most of the old school B&Ms we love today. He designed Batman at Six Flags Great America as well, which was a very revolutionary coaster at the time. This was the first modern inverted coaster to flip upside down and provide notable elements such as corkscrews and vertical loops. This ride made ripples throughout the industry and is why we have very thrilling B&M inverts to this day. He designed the first B&M Dive and the first B&M Hyper in Oblivion and Apollo's Chariot respectively. What are some other rides he designed? Well, like I said, he designed Apollo's Chariot, Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America, Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa, Kumba at the same park, Raptor at Cedar Point, Mantis at Cedar Point, Pyrenees, and Katoon. These rides are some of the best B&Ms in the world, and depending on who you talk to, might be the best. But in the early 2000s, he was too busy working with another manufacturer, so he cut ties with B&M to work with, well, you guessed it, the next manufacturer I'm going to be talking about. Okay, let's talk about his involvement with Intamin. His involvement with Intamin is absolutely incredible, and the main reason he is well known. He is mostly known for the contributions of Intamin, including designing the roller coaster with the first hydraulic launch with accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. He designed the Intamin prefabs, T-Express, Balder, El Toro, and Colossus. He designed the first coaster to go upside down over 10 times with, once again, Colossus at Thorpe Park. 2 different rides, by the way. He designed the first Giga roller coaster, and designed the only 2 Stratas to currently exist. The first Giga being Millennium Force, a coaster that caused ripples throughout the industry, and is possibly one of the most iconic rides of all time. The 2 Stratas, Top Thrill Dragster and King Dakar, at Cedar Point and Great Adventure respectively, are 2 of the most beloved rides by the GP and enthusiasts alike. And of course, we can't forget what's possibly the roller coaster that people think of when they come up with Werner Stangle, Maverick. Maverick was the first Blitz coaster to come out and really provided everything. If you want to know how much I think Maverick changed the industry, check out my coaster spotlight on it. Sorry for the plug, but if I were to talk about how much he changed the coaster industry just with this ride, we would be here until the afternoon. Other notable rides that he has designed that are absolutely icons today are Skyrush at Hershey Park, the incredible ejector airtime machine, El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure, what might possibly be one of the best roller coasters on the planet, Hyperion at Energylandia, iSpeed at Mirabilandia, Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England, Goliath at Walibi Holland, and Expedition G-Force at Holiday Park. The list goes on and on and on and on. Maverick was the last coaster he designed before partially retiring in the mid to late 2000s, but like I said, he still has involvement with roller coasters till this day, designing roller coasters like Skyrush, Carnan, and Hyperion. But this isn't the end of his adventure. There are some more roller coasters that he has designed from more obscure manufacturers. So let's talk about some of the other manufacturers he has worked with. First, he has worked with Zier a lot. He came out with their Force models that are probably the reason that he came up with 500 roller coasters so quickly. These are easily clonable models, and these models have shown up at parks all across the world. He has also worked surprisingly with RCCA, and was the main designer behind Son of Beast at Kings Island. And to top it all off, he worked with Gaia Vinola. He designed Anaconda at Gold Reef City, a very beloved inverted coaster, and designed both Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain and Titan at Six Flags Over Texas. He truly made roller coasters an art form. Werner Stangle really took roller coasters and flipped the industry upside down throughout over 50 years of making rides. Seriously, his forms in the industry really changed everything, and his innovations will live on for years and years to come. Anyway, this is Cedar Flags, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Sure, the title was a little clickbaity, but I really wanted to get into the point of Werner Stangle and his insane accomplishments. So, thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments below how the video was, and if you have another favorite that you think could even top Werner himself, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.